Hello, we are Sarah Bramall and Rebecca Daniel, and together we are the Coaching Catalysts. We're both ICF Accredited Coaches, we're coach trainers for lead coach training organisations, and we're coach supervisors.
And together we work with coaches and professionals, helping them to enhance their coaching practice. We do this via the Coaching Catalyst Collective, which is a service that is designed for coaches who use coaching skills in their work, in their business, to help them to elevate their coaching practice, develop their skills, and enhance their abilities as a coach.
Where are you learning? Where are you growing? Where are you changing?
I've done group coaching with both you, Rebecca, and Sarah, and I love them.
And I remember a lecturer saying to me that a coach can only ever take their clients as deeply as they've taken themselves.
And I'm very, very lucky that Sarah and Rebecca were the first people that I approached, but have been exactly what I'm looking for.
It was actually the addition of supervision which helped me to develop as a coach even more.
Often have you sacrificed your sleep or skipped your lunch or not booked a doctor's appointment?
When we can start to really embrace our clients and their differences, it's then important for us to look at our own biases and our own assumptions.
We need employees to be offering some greater flexibility about working hours.
You appreciate that us as people will get so much more out of our business if we get so much more out of ourselves.
Just loved, having the space to kind of dream.
Now I'm reaching my top goal, which I didn't think I'd be anywhere near. And I think without the support of Rebecca and Sarah, I really don't know if I would have got to that point.
So if you want to work with us either one-to-one, via the collective, or training for your business or organisation, we look forward to hearing from you soon. Get in touch with us using the details below.
Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. How are you?
Good morning. I am so excited. We've got a double whammy today of lovely showcases. So I am doing gloriously well. And you?
Gloriously well. I can't top that, Rebecca. That's pretty good for Tuesday morning.
The success, Sarah, comes from when you get the kids to school and nursery on time, but today was early. I've had a nice breakfast and the sun's not really out, but it's not raining. So I'm doing gloriously well.
You're doing gloriously well. Absolutely love that. Wonderful. Okay. Well, today we have got a very special showcase for you. So I hope that you are just as excited as we are. Here in the waiting room, we have got the most wonderful supervisor, and we're very, very proud to have her as part of our Coaching Catalyst Collective supervision team. She is an absolute superstar. Rebecca and I have worked very, very closely with her over the course of the last year in particular, but Rebecca has known Dawn way, way before that. So we'll talk more about that, but we're going to introduce Dawn today. You're going to learn about her, about who she is and her background, and also about her approach to coaching supervision. So without further ado, let's bring Dawn on.
Good morning, Dawn.
Morning, Rebecca. Morning, Sarah. And morning, everyone watching. So it's lovely to be here today.
Great to have you with us. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So, Dawn, first of all, then, for anybody who doesn't know you, would you mind just giving us an introduction to you?
Yeah. I am a multi-passionate, I would say, person. So I'm an ICF Accredited Coach. I'm a coach trainer and I'm a coach supervisor. But outside of the world of coaching as well, I have a wellness business that I've run for about 24 years now. So I'm a yoga teacher. I train other people to be yoga teachers, and I run retreats around the UK and around the world. I live in Northamptonshire with my 3 now nearly grown-up children. So I'm waiting to get to that point where I can go back and do a little bit more traveling. My youngest is 17, so I'm already planning a 2-month trip to Vietnam and Cambodia in 2025. So one thing as well that you might learn about me is that I love to plan ahead.
What I love about you is whenever I speak to you, you're always off to somewhere And I'm like, take me with you, Dawn, take me with you. So yeah, it's a really, really great thing that you've got the diversity of the work that you do. And it's really lovely to see you enjoying the work that you do as well.
Yeah, I think it's so important, whatever work we're doing, I'm totally driven by what do I love? That is my deciding factor in any amount of work that I'm going to take on.
Yeah, and I absolutely see that, Dawn, in everything that you do. Absolutely. There's 100% there's love there. We've got lovely Leonora, our community manager, on here saying, I'm there, Dawn. She's coming with you. She's coming in your suitcase. Planning a long trip with my husband next year. It's a great time of life. Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
It really is. So Dawn, one of the things that I really sort of admire and respect about you is your background as a yogi, as a yoga teacher trainer, and how that informs your approach to coaching and to supervision. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I guess in terms of coaching, I sort of have two prongs to coaching. So the business coaching that I do predominantly, although not exclusively, is with other wellness business owners, because it's often a kind of area of business that people go to because it's heart-led, they're passionate about it, they want to help people, but you need to know how to make that success if you are going to pay the bills, if you're going to give up the day job. There's a lot of imposter syndrome stuff going on out there. There's a lot of mindset stuff that needs changing, particularly I find around money and pricing. And what I work with those businesses to do is to grow businesses that are sustainable for them. So they're financially sustainable, energetically sustainable, and they love them. And I think there's this like ripple effect, because these businesses go out and work in the communities and improve people's lives. So there's this huge ripple effect in what they do when they go and deliver to their clients and customers. And on the other side of coaching, the more kind of personal side of coaching, I love to integrate all of those yoga tools and techniques. So I like to work with felt senses and somatics and mindfulness and breath work and challenging beliefs. So I also really love to get out and about. You'll always find me on a mountain or in a lake. So I love to do outdoor coaching with people as well. They're like, shall we swim across this lake? Shall we climb up this mountain? So again, you can see that I like to have fun as well with those things.
I can definitely see you and Sarah, like, yeah, up a mountain somewhere. I'll be at the bottom waving. I'll be like, hi. I'll be there soon. What's really lovely is about supporting others that do great work in the world. That's something that's quite common that we see, is that a lot of people do some great work, but struggle to make it a sustainable and viable business. So it's really beautiful that you can support them in that development process as well. And I think this will trickle into supervision. And I'm going to ask you, like, what led you into embarking on becoming a coaching supervisor amongst all the other amazing things that you do?
I think it's a natural progression, particularly with the work I already do with other businesses and with the kind of mentoring. And I kind of did unofficial, as in I wasn't qualified, supervision for yoga teachers for must be about 10 years. But I didn't really know it by that name when I first started as supervision, because at that point, probably my idea of supervision sounded like someone who was above me at work and telling me what to do. And I didn't understand that supportive capacity of what supervision really is. So I was already supervising without really realizing it and without having that structure and name to it. And so when I started to do more and more coaching, particularly outside of the sort of demographics of where I originally started, it just seemed like a natural progression. Because as you said, that whole thing of supporting others so that they can do the best that they can do in their roles, and the ripple effect that that has, supervision totally fits into that modality.
It does. And we shared this when we were talking about you, Dawn, and also Phyllis and Nicola, our other supervisors. We shared the fact that the reason that we're connected is because we all did our supervision training together. So we have all spent many, many, many hours in supervision together, which is why we have such high regard and such high trust of Dawn and Phyllis and Nicola. And what I see in you being supervised by you, for me as a supervisee, firstly, that ability to hold a really, really safe space. Secondly, for me, that real sense of unconditional positive regard, I feel that really, really strongly from you. And I think thirdly, that sense of presence that you have, and I don't know whether it's kind of as it, with your yoga background, but there's a real sense of presence that allows you to listen really deeply and then to respond in a really insightful way, whether that's through a reflection or a question. I really, really appreciate that about you and about your supervision style.
Thank you. That's really lovely to hear. And as you say, I think that ability to hold space, or people having space held for them in supervision, is such a protected space, a nurturing space, a space of non-judgment, but freedom to explore whatever it is that they want to bring into that space.
Wonderful. And I know, obviously, for, you know, as Rebecca and I are, we are all actively in supervision ourselves. What would you say that for you, being in supervision for you, how does that help you in your coaching and in your supervision?
I think there's multiple prongs in supervision that help you. So one is definitely that sort of skill set of being able to go and refine your work, to be able to look at how you've been working with a client, to see how you could improve, to get feedback from others in group supervision as well, is that it isn't a closed echo chamber as well. So group supervision obviously has your peer support as well, which is really lovely, because things come up and you think, gosh, no, I never would have thought of that. Or I can sort of I see where you're coming from with that, or I'm going through that too. So it's a really lovely space in that way. But it's broader than just the skills that are going to get better. So definitely you become a better coach if you are being supervised. That's my experience anyway. I think it has improved my coaching no end. But equally, this space to explore those other things that otherwise you think, well, where would they actually sit? Those things of what's going on in my life that might affect the way I'm coaching. I can take that to supervision. I can take my professional development to supervision. So it is such a broad brush where you can really take a minute lens onto one thing and go deep, or we can step back and look at everything much more broadly. So it's such a great space, because I think it's unique. I don't think anything else gives you all of those things that supervision does.
Yeah. And when people ask, like, what can they expect? For me, I believe that each session is different, because it depends on what the clients or the supervisees, the coaches are bringing to the space. What I love the most as well is the ability to tap into other people's thoughts and perspectives, so that we can step out of our own bubble and really just have an understanding of how other people would process and handle situations. So yeah, Dawn, you've said quite a few things there, and I think the list is probably never ending. There are some people that are hesitant or reluctant to engage in supervision. Like you said, like the term supervisor is somebody who could potentially be watching you and overseeing you, but that's not the case in supervision, in coaching supervision. What would you say to those that are not too sure if supervision is right for them at this moment in time?
I think supervision, as I said, I think it's such a unique space, and people have lots of beliefs about supervision, like I must have lots of clients before I can go to supervision, or it must be something really massive that I take, like I'm looking for some big problem to take to supervision. And actually the real reflections and the sweet spots often come out of, like you say, the support that you get from others in the group, or people will say, and I know I've done it myself, oh, it's just this silly little thing, and I don't even know really if I should take up this space. And then actually through talking it through and working it out, something shifts. So it's not like you have to have an action point at the end necessarily, but something shifts through that process of sharing and reflecting and talking. So I'd say don't let those things limit you, where you think, oh, I must be coaching, 15 hours a week to make it worthwhile, and I must have big problems. Like, celebrate your successes, look at other things that are going on for you in there. So I think it's that misbelief around supervision. And I find that those are the two things that people think that, that hold them back. Either they're not coaching enough, or they must have huge problems to bring. And that really, really isn't the case for supervision.
Okay, brilliant. And Leonora's adding here as well about that multi-pronged nature of supervision. So Leonora, for those of you who don't know, as well as being our community manager, is a collective client. So she has been in supervision with us since the beginning of this year and has really, really benefited, as we all have, from having been in supervision. So 2 obstacles there that Dawn says are very, very common. I'm not coaching enough, or I have to have big stuff to bring. Not the case. So thank you for sort of correcting us on that, Dawn, because I think that's a very sort of common perception, and certainly probably one that I shared before I got involved in supervision, and just found it such a wonderful and rich learning experience that I cannot imagine now being a coach and not being in supervision.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's something in my calendar that I really look forward to. I'm like, oh, I've got supervision. How exciting. It's a space like just for me. With no judgment, no agenda that I have to I just show up and enjoy the process.
Wonderful. Dawn, I think that is a really wonderful place to bring this to a close. So if people want to find out more about you and the work that you do, where's the best place for them to head?
Probably to my website, which is very simple. It's just dawnwrightcoaching.com. Very does what it says on the tin. And I am on Facebook and Instagram and things like that. But as we all are.
Yeah, we're all over, aren't we? Well, thank you, Dawn, for your time. We really look forward to getting started with you and your other supervisors. And Dawn's sessions are running on Mondays from 7 to 8:30. That's UK time. So if you're anywhere outside of the UK, please do convert that time zone. The first session for Dawn will be Monday, the 9th of October. And you can find out more about Dawn by going to bit.ly/coaching-collective. You'll have a little bit of a bio there. Dawn's lovely picture and the dates as well have been put in the comment section for you as well. So, see you later, Dawn. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, I'll see you soon. Thank you for having me this morning. And I can't wait to start the groups in October. So looking forward to meeting those of you that are going to join.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dawn.
So we have on the screen there that doors are closing on Friday the 22nd of September, and that's all UK time at 3 p.m. You've got Dawn, you've got Phyllis, and you've got Nicola, who you will also meet on showcases later. We've got Phyllis coming up next. Please do go to the website, have a look at what's included in the Coaching Catalyst Collective. It's not just group supervision, it's learning and development, it's community, it's coaching triads, and also in-person meetups so that we can really build thriving coaching communities.
Wonderful. And if you've got any questions, if you want to know whether this is the right service for you, please do send us a DM, send us an email and get in touch, and we'll book a call and we'll have a chat with you and figure out whether this is the right place for you. All right. Up next is Phyllis at 10:30. So go grab a cup of tea and come back and join us then. Thanks so much, everybody.